What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk and welcome to the pre-match build-up for the game against Barnsley in the Carabao Cup. It's bloody Barnsley. That's who we're playing. Absolute blockbuster. Forget about the Champions League or any of that nonsense that's going on in Europe. This is where it's really at, right here on Real Reds Talk. It's United versus Barnsley at Old Trafford. The blockbuster clash that everyone is waiting for. And the starting 11 is out, as you could probably already see on your screen. Some big surprises in there. I'm going to run through it and then I'll get Sam's reaction to this. So we've got BAYINDIR first and foremost, which is like, oh my God. Yeah.
Headliner
Evidence,
right there.
Yeah, stretch it. We've actually changed the headline on the title to "Oh my God, BAYINDIR actually starts." So yeah, craziness. I'm sure he's just as shocked and surprised as me and Sam are, and you guys in the chat right now. We've got Diego Dalot at right back, so Mazraoui gets a rest after some concerns about injuries, although we were supposed to be fine. We've got the ever experienced returning partnership in Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans as your centre back pairing. Toby Collyer at left back, which has threw absolutely everyone off on this planet. There isn't a person in the world who thought Collyer would start at left back, let alone start at all. So that's mad. We want to talk about that. We've got a midfield pairing of Casemiro and Ugarte, which I'm very eager to see, with Christian Eriksen, we believe, just to be ahead of them. And then Anthony, Rashford, and Garnacho as your front three. So Marcus Rashford as a striker, we believe, unless it's some sort of curveball. Yeah, I mean, take your pick, Sam. I don't know where you want to go with that, but there's plenty to discuss, so go for it.
I'll jump to the obvious one. BAYINDIR starts.
Yeah.
It seemed there was a lot of signs today because there was a lot of interviews been put out about him, wasn't there? He was a lot of quotes floating about and a video interview. So I was like, maybe he's starting. Maybe he's starting. So slightly less of a shock that, although still a shock because I was convinced no matter what that he was going to put Onana in there, and he's not even on the bench. Onana, so that says a lot. So yeah, BAYINDIR, good to see him get a start. I think Dalot, Maguire, Evans, we all called, didn't we? We all said that's probably going to be it. Left back, I was unsure who it was going to be. It was not Toby Collyer. He was not the first name, not the second, not the third, not the fourth, not even the fifth name on my list.
Over Amas, though, Sam.
It's weird. It's bizarre. And Amas not even on the bench either. Like, the indications in pre-season were he was with the squad. He was saying Ten Hag was impressed with him. He enjoyed, he liked him, and he's just not been near the squad since. Like, not a single, not even on the bench. Like, not even 3 minutes here, 4 minutes here, like nothing. So I don't know whether he's not showing enough in training, whether Ten Hag just thinks he's not physically ready yet. I don't know what it is. I really don't, because I thought this would be the perfect opportunity, because he's not going to play in the Premier League. I think Ten Hag is going to put all his focus on the Europa League, so I don't see him playing there. So you think this is a perfect opportunity for him. And I'm glad Toby Collier's got an opportunity, but at left back's weird. I would have put him in midfield instead of like an Eriksen or a Casemiro. But I'm glad he's got an opportunity. But left back, bizarre that. Really, really bizarre. That's proper thrown me, and I don't know what he's doing. I really don't know what he's doing.
It feels like, when Pep just tweaks something just for the sake of it, where he just puts someone in a mad position. Whether he's doing it, I don't know actually if he's played there in his academy days. I mean, maybe there's something in that. I don't know if any of you guys know. I certainly haven't heard of him playing at left back before, so it's an interesting one. I know he's got the energy to bomb up and down, but I mean, I was looking at the bench then just to double check. I mean, Mazraoui is available because you've got Heaton, De Ligt, Martinez, Mazraoui, Bruno, Mainu, Ahmad, Wheatley, and Xerxes on the bench. So that's a pretty strong fucking bench as well. So Mazraoui is available. Yeah, strange one. Very, very strange one with that. Let us know your thoughts and feelings in the chat. I'm going to go to the chat right now. Joshua saying, is the guy right in the head? Has Collyer ever played at left back? Why are you picking a midfielder over Amas in his natural position? Random guy saying, Anthony Brace incoming. Even though I'm only staying until the match starts. Well, it's pre-match build-up anyway, so are we. So you're not the only one, don't worry about it. Nice to see so many of you. Please do smash a like on the video if you can whilst you're with us. Ugarte, Casemiro, Eriksen, I like it. Talk to me about that midfield dynamic, Sam.
I didn't expect Eriksen to start, to be fair.
No.
I don't think any of us called it. I think all of us just figured, it's Southampton, and then that'd be it. But yeah, I like that we spoke about then when Ugarte come in. We thought, maybe Casemiro will play in the 8 because he offers quite a lot going forward. He's through passes and that kind of stuff, getting on the end of like set pieces, so he can still offer something there. So I was excited to see the idea of Ugarte and Casemiro, and we get to see it tonight. And then we were always saying, rotate Bruno, we should rotate Bruno, but we're all like, he's not going to rotate him, so let's just accept it. And he has. He's rotated him. He's put Ericsson. I assume Ericsson's in the 10.
Yeah.
I'd assume, but I don't know for sure, but I'm going to assume he is. So that gives Ericsson a bit less responsibility at the back, so he doesn't have to cover so much ground because, we haven't got the legs or the physicality. He can just focus on receiving the ball from Casemiro or whoever and focus on pinging those passes out to Rashford, Garnacho, Anthony, and playing in the 10 and a more free role, which is what he was very good at for Denmark, where he's got less of that responsibility that he would have to when he normally plays in like the 8 position or even the 6 at times for United. So interested to see what happens. I'm glad he's rotated Bruno out. Excited to see Aguate Casemiro combination. Yeah, I'm down for that midfield. Like I'm all right with it.
I think that's the most rotated and niche team Ten Hag's ever put out when I've seen him in a cup competition, because we was all going with the usuals, what we've seen from him. He kind of bit back a little bit in the presser, which we spoke about yesterday, when he was saying like, I didn't have any options last season, so I had to play, whoever the strong, because I still wanted to advance in the tournament, but I was kind of stuck for who I wanted to go with. You look at that bench now, let me just repeat it again, because that's a strong bench. De Ligt, Martinez, Mazraoui, Fernandez, Mainu, Ahmad, Wheatley, Xerxes. That's the bench, so that's very, very strong. You've got options there if you are 0-0 down by like the 80th minute, which I'm praying to God we're not. At least there's some depth there. Now moving on to the attack, Sam. Anthony starts on the right wing. I mean, he's only had a couple of minutes against Brighton. Yeah. He needs a mega performance today, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has to show up. Like, this is his opportunity. Like, we looked at the games upcoming and we're like, where's he going to get start? Where's he going to get time? Besides like a few minutes on the subs, off the sub bench. And I think, yeah, this is a game you would look at and go, this is a game for him to try and build his confidence back up, try and build some momentum into him, try and see if he can get a goal or an assist or something like that, which could stead him good in future games and stuff. This would be the game, or maybe in a Europa League game somewhere against, say you've already won your 4 or 5 games, you got an extra game against like the Bucharest, I think the last game is, and you could chuck him in there. But I think, yeah, this is a good game to chuck him in, and hopefully he delivers and it's a good performance, because then we've got another winger in form, chomping it a bit, wanting to play. I personally still think Anthony hasn't got enough to offer United and should leave. But obviously, until at least January, we're going to have to stick with him and he's going to have to play some part of the squad because he's in the team. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he performs today. Obviously, he looked really, really good against Newport, but it's Newport. So, were they League 1 as well, Newport? Were they League 2?
I think they're lower. Yeah, I think they're League 2.
They're lower. So League 1 opposition, it's about his level, in it really. He normally looks pretty good against this sort of thing. So not get too excited if he does play well, but good for him and good for his confidence if he does.
Yeah, agreed. I expect to see a goal or at least an assist against Barnsley today. With Marcus up top, I've never been a huge fan of him. Craig the Unicorn in the chat saying I actually like Rashford more as a striker. I just feel he gets very isolated and frustrated, doesn't it? And I don't think he likes playing there either. Sorry, I think he's touched on that multiple times. So yeah, but it's one of those, with the quality that you've got, Garnacho, Rashford, Anthony, against Barnsley, with all due respect, you should be expecting to put a couple past them. So I have no kind of qualms with that, with Rashford starting as the 9, and obviously there's rotations there, people can drop in. And Ericsson as the 10 as well, pulling strings. I'm interested to see that.
Yeah, with Rashford as well, like obviously he got the goal and his confidence, so maybe he didn't want to interrupt his confidence and be like, oh, you've just scored, but now I'm going to drop you. Maybe you say, if you're playing for this, maybe he can get a couple of goals and it keeps going, the confidence, and he's better for games. But then you're like, well, Garnacho deserves to start, so the only way you could fit him in was, right, let's put you in the 9, Garnacho on the left hand and the right hand him. That's the way we can work it. But yeah, Ericsson, I like him in the 10, look good for Denmark when he plays there. Less responsibility, like as I touched on in the midfield, don't have to cover as much ground or do as much defending, so he should have a decent game. I think he'll have a lot of time, a lot of space on the ball, and should be able to pick out some really good passes and hopefully break through that that defensive line of Barnsley, because I assume they're going to play a low block.
Yeah,
because that's what most teams do.
We'll touch on Barnsley kind of in the next 10 minutes or so in terms of how we expect them to set up. Charlie Man was saying Cass could be a defender, Evans could be the left back, and Collyer could be in the pivot. Yeah, look, I'm sure the way we've got it on the screen there, 4-3-3, 4-2. 1-3, whatever you want to call it. You can have maybe Collyer dropping into midfield. You can have the back line kind of spreading out. Casemiro dropping into there. Like, there will be rotation. It won't just be him as a kind of strict left back up and down that kind of side. Obviously, but I do think it's a little bit bizarre. Him starting there.
Because we did see Dalot and Mazraoui invert into the midfield against Southampton to sort of help that midfield. So maybe that's what Ten Hag's thinking. He's thinking, I need to invert my fullback. So if I put a midfielder there, it's a lot easier for him to invert and be able to sort of work within that midfield. So when Casemiro does push up, Aguate and Collier can fill in that space, and he can help pack out that midfield. So maybe that's the only way I can think of him why he's done that. Because obviously, if you had Luke Shaw on Malacia, they could easily do that job because they're very capable of doing that. But because he's got Max Raui, who came to straight from Bayern, hadn't played much football, and then played 3-4 games straight away. He wanted to rest him, and De Ligt, he wanted to rest him, so he's had to shuffle the deck a little bit. So I kind of get his thinking, but yeah, it's still a little bit weird.
I'm a little bit gutted because I've got Majari in my fantasy team, and in the other one on the Sun Dream thing, it counts European games and cup games. So no clean sheet for me, unfortunately, because Majari ain't starting. But yeah, I think they've earned the rest so far. So again, not too mad. Random guy saying, I don't hate the formation, but Collier at left back is unproductive. No one benefits from that decision. Well, I hate going in too much before the match even kicks off because we yet to see, you know, it could be anyone. It could be fucking Dallo moves over to left back. He could have, I don't know, someone mad starting at right back. You just don't know, do you? So I'll wait until I see the setup at the start of the game, and then I'll make my judgments.
I hope it's not like, do you remember we were doing the Champions League one and Lindelof started at fullback, and then we're like, what the fuck is Rangnick doing? And it was just a disaster. And I think, did he sub him or move him like after 40 minutes? So you're like, oh my God, I'm hoping it's not that.
Eriksen is an interesting one. I do want to move on to like the full team and what we expect today and stuff, and loads of other things. But Eriksen is an interesting one. We've got quite a few people saying, I liked how Eriksen played on Saturday. Eriksen isn't the future. What's the point playing him? Give him a chance to youngsters. But I actually thought, again, off the ball, we know he has his deficiencies, but on the ball, he was really good one here against Southampton, I thought.
I think when you play him in the 10, and in a more advanced role, I think he has a lot to offer still on the ball. I think if you get in the ball, he's very capable of picking passes. He's good on set pieces. Like there was the corner that sort of like led up to the goal. So I think, I think he offers a lot on the ball. I think if you ask him to work as hard as every guy on the pitch that Ten Hag seems to be demanding from his team, then obviously you're going to see the diminishing returns because he hasn't got the legs, he hasn't got the cardio, and he hasn't got the physicality to do so. But if you play him in the 10 and rotate, every time you need to rotate Bruno out or you need somebody in there for the last 15 minutes to pull the strings, like you say, I think he's good. He's a good option to do that. And we saw the success he had with Casemiro during the first season of Ten Hag. So he is capable of it. But I just think when you ask too much of him, when you ask him to play that box-to-box role, I just think it's too much. But I think in the 10, I think he's effective.
Yeah. McMillan said it's Barnsley. Collier will invert into midfield because Casemiro's going to be up so far. They'll always be in Barnsley's net or behind it. Gutted that Amas ain't on the bench. That's from Dino or a couple of other kids. The Amas one, I just don't think he trusts him yet. I think it's as simple as that, and I think you've seen enough evidence now. So, he needs to work his way to get back into the squad. Jamie McGregor saying 80 million is a lot for a League One standard player, but you can't disagree in it. 1 goal, 1 assist last season, Anthony.
Sure. So. Let me know when he played well in the Premier League or when he played well in any competition except against Newport. I'll wait.
Yeah, and a full 90 minutes at that as well, because I'm sure he's had 10 minutes where he looks okay, but we need to see it for a full 90. So I'm sure he'll be chomping at the bit to prove a point to Erik ten Hag. And likewise with a couple of us, there's some in there who not only just Anthony, but Garnacho's been coming on as an impact sub. Obviously Eriksen's only just started featuring. Maguire, another one who will want to retain his place at the back with De Ligt coming in. So a lot of competition for places, and we always say competition breeds success. So I'm absolutely fine with that. Look, her saying Anthony could be a false 9. I mentioned that before about Rashford starting up top. That's why I'm saying I'm trying not to be too judgmental because I don't know. I just simply don't know who's going to start where.
Might be fluid. Yeah, like he might line up and Rashford might be in the central, but you might see him drift out to the left and Garnacho out to the right, and then Anthony come in central. Yeah, you might see a bit of fluid movement in that sort of area. It might not be just you're playing number 9. Do not move from that center. Do not go out to the left. There might be a bit more freedom in that, especially against like a Barnsley. Like you might get a bit more freedom.
Yeah. What do you think in terms of combinations in there? Because I think one thing Ten Hag touched on was developing partnerships and chemistry and patterns, and that was really, really important to him because he doesn't get enough time on the pitch to work with them in terms of, training sessions because games come so thick and fast. But something like this, I'm not saying they're going to use it as a training match, but it's an experiment in it where they could say, right, Ugarte, Casemiro, if we're going to test them, let's test them in a game against Barnsley. Because it's not, you do it against Liverpool, you lose 5-0, it's like, oh, fucking hell, we shouldn't have done that. Yeah. So there's some experiments out there that I'm interested to see how they kind of crack on. And I think the partnership of Evans and Maguire, also something to note, will be that kind of cup partnership you'd expect.
Yeah, we've seen Johnny Evans, and for the most part, he's done well for United. I can't remember a bad game he's had since he's come back. Like, I think he's played pretty solid. I think Maguire as well last season had arguably one of his better seasons for United. Really, really good season. I think, much like Onana, I think Maguire gets tarred with the brush that he had from the season before, where he had an absolute abysmal season. People just write him off, even though, to the contrary, he had a really good season. And people are like, no, he's shit. It's like, well, he's not, because he had a decent season. It's the same with like other players like that. So yeah, I think they deserve minutes. I think they'll do well. I think they've looked good when they have had to fill in and stuff like that. So I'm happy. I'm happy to see the rotation. I'm happy to see Delict get a rest because we saw the cramp. Leacher had to come off, so I'm happy he's got a rest. And I'm happy to see who was the other player you mentioned? They're just those two.
I don't know. I had another thing straight in my head then that I wanted that.
Yeah, it's all good.
That I wanted to talk about. Yeah, just on the. I mean, again, we've kind of glossed over it with the cup situation, but I'm not overly. I think I'm in the same boat as you. I'm not overly too fussed. I know it sounds bad. I want to win every tournament, of course, but the Carabao's one of those where I'm like, we've won it. We've won the FA Cup. I want to see us really progress in the league and get some consistency. So I think one thing I will say with this is very important not to judge a player too much based off the performance against Barnsley, innit? Because let's say Ugarte puts a worldie in today, it's putting out fires against Barnsley in comparison to a Man City is a completely different world, innit, Sam?
Yeah, like, say we go, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but say we go smash Barnsley 5-0. Like, people are going to get carried away with it. Oh, yeah, it's going to be, and it's just like, relax, it's Barnsley. Let's chill out. Like, let's not get too overexcited. I think professional performance, if we can score a couple of goals, great. If the fringe players can have some good performance, like Anthony, Collier, Evans, Maguire, Bayindir, if you keep a clean sheet, I think that builds confidence in the team, and we can just move on to the next one and don't have to worry too much. And we've got away with rotating the team and not having to involve people that can have a rest and stuff like that. I think that's how we've got to approach it. Don't get too excited and don't get too angry if it doesn't go fantastically well, because I think we need to focus on the league form and Europa League. I think that should be our two focuses this year.
I mean, anything could happen, can't it, if BAYINDIR's starting in net, so great. Look, you got Ahmad, Fernandez and Xerxes to bring off the bench if you are struggling. I hope we're not, and we shouldn't be, but I think those coming on as well, maybe Ahmad getting an assist or Bruno, getting an assist, and Xerxes scoring can be a massive confidence boost for them as well. Now, just a quick stat for you. Erik ten Hag has a 90% win rate in English domestic cup competitions, winning 2 such trophies in as many seasons. So a nice little stat. In terms of Barnsley, just a quick, brief introduction to them. Managers Darryl Clark, formation 3-5-2. So obviously it's going to be more of a back five than anything. They'll sit deep, they'll make it compact, crosses into the box, long ball transitions, all that kind of stuff that you associate with the teams in the lower divisions. A key player to keep an eye out for, Adam Phillips, top scorer, and they've got a bit of a traditional striker as well in Cosgrove, who can be a bit of a nuisance. But I think we touched on in the previous time, they lost the previous game to Stevenage 3-0. So in terms of competition, you'd expect us to absolutely cook Barnsley today.
Yeah, famous last words and all that. It's always the way in it. Yeah, I think don't underestimate them, because anybody's capable of upsetting United at Old Trafford, as we know, as we've experienced several times. So professional performance, couple of early goals, and I think jobs are good in with this. But yeah, if they score first or we come out of the blocks like we did against Southampton, it might be a bit tricky for a while, but we should have the quality to put them down and put them away quite easily.
And like I said, people in the chat, don't be worrying about Champions League or anything like this. This is where it's at. The Carabao Cup against Barnsley. Fuck any of you Liverpool, Milans, and City Inters and any of that nonsense. We're here for United.
He wants to play at San Siro when you can have the likes of the mighty Barnsley at Old Trafford.
Exactly.
Like, he wants
the
that
mighty
shit.
Barnsley. God, this is going to look so bad on us, if Barnsley
Oh,
knock us out of the Carabao Cup.
Clip it, feel free, opposing fans, if you want to clip this up and then repeat it, then we deserve it.
There should be a forfeit if we fucking lose this game. They really should.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jay McGrogan saying Ericsson and Anthony are putting themselves in the shop window tonight. Advertisement for their services next season or January. Well, whichever way you look at it. Putting them back into the team or putting himself in the shop window. Regardless, he needs to put a good performance in.
Ericsson's in the last year of his deal, isn't he? So you won't be getting anything for him.
Yeah,
he's
true.
He'll leave next year for free, won't he? So
yeah,
and I doubt we're gonna activate. If he has got a +1, I doubt we're gonna activate it at this point. So
McMillan's saying, Sam, how are you, mate?
I'm all right, McMillan. How are you, mate? Hope you're doing better. I know you're having a couple of issues with things. So I hope everything's a bit better for you.
Likewise. And Nick, I heard you not well, bro. To be honest, I'm just struggling with my asthma and stuff at the minute. Really struggling. I'm going back and forth with the doctors, but yeah, nightmare for anyone who has bad asthma. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It could be a pain in the ass. Harry will head Donovan out of the stadium. Rich, I don't get that. Do you get that?
Is he one of their players, Donovan Rich?
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, sorry if I've never heard of him, so that's gone way over my head. Sam, what are you sipping on? That's from Craig the Unicorn.
It's Coke Zero with 0 caffeine. So yeah, I am allowed nothing in my life to enjoy anymore because caffeine messes me up. I've cut out sugar for the most part. So yeah, I have nothing to enjoy anymore. You cut out sugar
completely?
No. I just like out of stuff that I can. So they're like sugary drinks or tea or anything like that. Tea? I've cut it out from. Yeah.
Oh, that's shit. You can't have a brew with no sugar, man. That is
stevia. If you get stevia sweetener, it tastes like sugar and it feels like sugar and it looks like sugar, but it doesn't. Because
sometimes you get that sweetener in it where it's like talcum powder when you put it in.
No, it's like that. It's not like that. It
horrible.
looks like sugar and it tastes like sugar, but 0 calories and it doesn't do the damage that sugar does. So I can still enjoy a brew.
With the caffeine, why not the caffeine? Because caffeine in tea, right?
Yeah, so this is fucking hell. This is getting granular now. I'm bored in my.
I'm interested though. So
my really shit life.
Listen, people can park Barnsley for 5 minutes. Don't worry about
it. So yeah, I'll have 1 caffeine tea when I get up in the morning, and then after that, I'm on decaf. That's how I do it.
But why do you avoid caffeine? That's my thing. Or do you just?
So I have really bad anxiety, physical anxiety, and I used to drink Jaeger bombs. I don't know if you must have had a Jaeger bomb.
Yep.
That was my drink of choice on nights out, and I think I redlined my caffeine system to the point of breaking. So now anytime I have caffeine, my anxiety gets out of control. My heart racing, go to the toilet too much, headaches. So I just try and avoid it as much as possible. So 0 caffeine Coke, 0 caffeine tea, no sugar. So yeah, I'm just fucking a boring old man at this point. I got nothing to have. I'm fucking gluten free as well. I don't eat gluten either. I'm so boring. It's unbelievable.
And there's the origins of the story why when United lose, Sam is quite literally at rock bottom because he's got no sugar, he's got no caffeine.
I got no coping mechanism.
No coping mechanism. Sometimes people turn around to a chocolate bar.
I don't smoke.
No.
I don't smoke either. So
yeah. That's what I miss the most, smoking, because that's what I used to do. Like if I was ever stressed or whatever, I'd go out and have a cig, and I used to smoke quite a lot, as you know, yourself.
Yeah, and I'm not a big drinker either. Like I'll have a couple of whiskeys and I'm good. Yeah. I don't really get wasted that often. I've done it on occasion, so I don't really have anything that copes. So yeah, the United is just hitting me raw. Have you seen the trend, raw dog in flights? Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's basically me watching United. Just nothing to stop it, nothing to distract me. So,
fingers crossed for a win. Welcome to Real Nutrition Talk. If you are just joining the chat,
sorry everybody. Sorry everybody, by the way, for that. I apologize.
It is what it is. We're 11 subscribers, by the way, off 6,900. So if there's anyone new in the chat and you do like football content, please do hit that subscribe button. Jarvis Cocker saying League Cup games should be an opportunity to give young players valuable minutes. Instead, we're forcing one of our highest paid players to boost his confidence by scoring a League Two against the League Two team. I couldn't have put it better myself, to be honest. Jarvis is on smoke today. That's what he's want. Elite Baller asking, what's physical anxiety?
So physical anxiety is where your body reacts to perceived anxiety. So even though your brain is telling you there's nothing to worry about, nothing afraid of, your body will just trigger and just go into that fight or flight mode anyway. So it varies for different people. So I get heart palpitations, I get headaches, my bladder and my stomach goes. So I'm just back and forth to the toilet all the time. I get like achy joints. I get achy joints. I get like it's just fucking horrible.
You sure that's not just age?
It might be. It might be.
I think you're tying that in, mate, with the finger.
Getting up in the middle of the night and need a piss, it's anxiety.
Oh my god, fucking walking stick, it's anxiety. Don't worry about it. Jesus Christ. I'm sure there's some people who can relate. Do you believe that sugar, that's not sugar? What? This chat's going elsewhere. If you're swapping out your sugar, Sam, swap your pancreas with mine. As a diabetic type 1, I'm telling you, sweetener doesn't taste the same. That's from Jay McGrogan.
What? Put some cash on the table, Jay. We'll talk. We'll talk money.
Yeah. I've had to change my diet. Well, we've got so many unhealthy people in the chat. It's so nice.
I've opened a can here, right?
Yeah. So nice to have a discussion. I've had to change my diet lots lately. Bloody horrible. It just makes you fuming, innit? Everyone loves sugar and gluten, and it's a tricky one.
It's the thing of not allowing yourself to have things that you can't have. It's worse when you're like, I can't have that, and then that's all you see.
All you think about.
You've
dreaming
about
it.
Say you've cut out like drinking, and then when you go, like, you just see people having a nice pint in the pub. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake! Like,
that's smoking. If I walk past the pub and I've had a drink, and someone's having a Richmond Super King outside, I'm like, oh my god, my mouth starts. I'm like, have you watched Madagascar? You know Alex when he's the stakes in his head, and he's like, oh my god. UTFR saying whole earth coffee alternative, Sam. It's a game changer. I've killed the caffeine intake as well.
Interesting. I'm not a fan of coffee. Nick likes his coffee. I'm a tea guy. Like coffee.
He's starting with a tea talk. Here we go.
Where's Chivy?
Give him an inch. He'll take a fucking mile.
Get Chivy on. I need to talk to T.
Did someone say tea? Yeah.
Just like that. I'm sleeping. What?
Oh, fucking
talk to Nick about coffee. He's a coffee lad.
Do you know what though? I've not had a coffee for ages for the same reasons that Sam, exact same reasons that Sam's just saying. Maybe it's because it's literally in our blood or something. I don't know, but coffee now. I have one. I'm like rattling like a crackhead, so I just can't. I can't go near the stuff. Right, we'll take it back to football a little bit. Stretford gamer Collyer at left back. We'll have have him drift into midfield, make it a 3-3-4 for a much more intense press. 3-2-5 with Agate pushing high, winning the ball. I think you should be in charge of United, Stretford gamer, by the sounds of that. Craig Unicorn going back to the food. Salt is a blessing, but stay away from sugars that aren't fruits.
Very true.
Very true. Yeah, salt. There's been quite a different take on salt. I've never put salt on anything, ever.
Salt is good. Salt is good in small doses. And the same with, do you know the thing they put on Chinese food, MSG? Do you remember that thing?
No.
So back in the day, MSG was demonized because they use it in Chinese food. It's like so there's different flavor profiles. So there's like sweet, salty, sour, spice, and then there's something called umami, which is used a lot in Asian foods.
That sounds dubious.
Look it up. It's very true.
Yeah.
And then MSG is a part of that flavor profile, and they demonized it for ages. But apparently, it's just like salt. Like it's only as bad as for your salt. So if you have shit tons, obviously it's shit for you. But if you have it in doses, it's fine.
It was the thing with eggs as well, wasn't it? They saying it's high in cholesterol, but then that's something that got like bollocks as well. Jamie McGrogan, 32 years of sugar-free drinks, no sweets or chocolate. I can assure you, Canderel and similar things are like what Anthony is to Garnacho. Yeah, the comparison. Richard just in with a simple sentence saying, "I love salt."
There you go. I like that Jay has tried to get it back on track with football, but kept it related to food and sort of combined the two with that comment. So I'm quite happy with that.
It's just on a quick note. If there is any doctors or nutritionists who want to reach out to me and have a conversation, please do. Because trying to get a GP appointment at my doctors is, I mean, I'm sure you guys are the same as well, a fucking nightmare.
If there's any medical people, like doctors and stuff, who could see me for an appointment,
come on the show.
Be nice. Yeah,
come on the show. We'll have a chat because there's plenty of questions I've got to fucking
trying
let me tell you.
Trying to get an appointment is like trying to pull teeth, which is ironic because I can't get a fucking dentist appointment either.
Also that as well. Yeah, you know what? My mate sent me a dentist bill before $3,500.
What did he have done?
$3,500.
What did he do?
What on earth? He said. Did
he get like all his teeth replaced?
Two
with gold
teeth being crowned, a couple of fillings. I think a couple of teeth being removed, something like that, and it came up to £3,500. I was like, Jesus Christ, crazy. Cholesterol's not bad. Your brain is basically built on cholesterol. I'm amazed at the level of nutritional experts in the chat. Genuinely.
Yeah, this is coming from Jarvis Cocker, who, correct me if I'm wrong, was the lead singer of Pulp in the 90s Brit band. Yeah. So I don't know whether I take his medical advice seriously, but thank you, Jarvis.
Doctors told me to eat white bread instead of wholemeal for my bowels. Yeah, I've also heard about that as well with diverticulitis. As people, sorry, I know people are joining in and like talking about bowels and stuff.
What the fuck are they talking about?
I'm actually genuinely interested in this kind of stuff. So look, we spoke about football for 25 minutes, so we're all right. We can continue a little bit. Keto or carnivore is the answer, as long as with intermittent fasting. I'm sure you tried some of them, Sam. That was at one point.
I know what they are. I've not
tried keto.
I've not tried keto.
No.
Carnivore would be interesting. So I do like steak and chicken and stuff. Intermittent fasting's an interesting one. I've never tried that. That'd be
just a window from like 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock. That would be
I
reckon I'd more likely to do that because I don't eat anything until about 12 o'clock anyway. So yeah. But the carnivore one, I couldn't imagine getting up and eating a fucking steak. It's just bizarre. Go on.
Rajat, go to Greg's then.
Hey, all the problems. Don't knock at Greg's. Yeah. To be honest, Greg's is one of the worst places in it, really, when you talk about like food that's bad for you. Jesus Christ.
Matt Millen, Jarvis Cocker, are you just trying to help us common people? Well done, Macmillan.
Yeah.
Well done. Fantastic. You know, that went straight over your head, that, didn't it?
Sometimes, it did go straight over my head. I was just agreeing, to be honest with you. I had no idea.
So, Common People is a song by Pulp, who Jarvis Cocker was the lead singer of.
See, this is why you're here, because I would have been reading that out and I would have been like, yeah, okay. But, yeah.
It's good. I like that joke.
Yeah. Soupy special, just eat soup, cures all. Mate, you must shit absolute buckets if you just eat soup in your diet. Honestly. It must just be like a runny tap that's blocked.
I love how he's come in with that name.
Soupy special. And one comment.
And he's just gone, bang.
Yeah.
Soup.
One comment and that's it.
He's just gone soup and then dropped the mic and gone, I'm done.
Yeah. The multitude of advice we've had in the chat is fascinating.
Fantastic.
But I appreciate every different take and everyone's got a different experience. So, yeah, right, let's see if we've got any manager quotes and we'll reel it back to football a little bit. Obviously, if you do have any further, nutrition advice, then don't be afraid to put it in the chat. Usually it's something from the manager, but I can't see anything out at the minute. Diego Dalot started 54 of United's last 58 games. Jesus Christ. Give that boy a rest. Talk about Bruno Fernandes. I think Dalot's played as many games, has he not? Let's see. Any other games kicked off? They kick off at 8 as well, don't they?
Another one. Matt Millen. That comment was superb. Yes,
okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's coming with the puns.
Yep. Can't eat spicy food anymore. That's the killer for me. I don't like spicy food anyway.
I love spicy food.
Honestly, so I don't understand the concept of wanting to burn your mouth whilst trying to eat something. I understand
levels. There's levels.
That's what I was gonna say.
I don't want to absolutely ruin my day and my toilet the next day. Yeah. But somewhere in between there is a nice spot. That's a nice spot.
I get if you've got a bit of a mild salsa or whatever, that's absolutely fine because I have that as well. But then people who go in and can I have the black X-rated fucking Nando's sauce? No. You're like, no. How are you enjoying that? Your mouth's absolutely on fire. I don't get it.
Because they've done that so often. They've killed every taste bud they have. So the only way they can feel any sensation is to have the hottest thing they can get. I think that's how it is. But and also, I like spicy food.
How do people eat curry? Because someone just mentioned curry in the chat there. Curry with you see, have a pint with it, and I'm like, oh no, like a cold pint of lager with a curry. Oh, that's just a fucking bad recipe.
That is a gastroeconomical nightmare in your
Exactly,
stomach,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's asking for trouble.
I think I would
Really
die
asking
if
for
I had
trouble.
that. Madras curry is the way to go. Oh no, no,
I like a
no, no.
madras. I like a madras. I'm down with
Oh,
madras.
too hot.
I don't like a vindaloo. Vindaloo's too hot, but I do like a madras. Madras is a nice one.
Yeah. I like Thai food. That's from Raja as well.
Yeah, Thai food's good.
I remember you
Thai.
making some prep meals, Thai food. Thai chicken.
Yeah,
was.
Thai curry. Thai
Yeah,
curry is
yeah.
a good one. I had this is again we're so off topic here.
I know.
I had some Vietnamese food the other night, and get this, it doesn't sound good, but it was fucking phenomenal. Caramel chicken.
Caramel chicken. Sounds very sweet.
Honest to God, it's not though. It's not like it's fucking brilliant, and it's a bit spicy. It's a bit sweet. Some rice, some veg, chicken. It's fantastic. Fucking fantastic. I recommend it if you get Vietnamese food. A caramel chicken, well worth it.
Just a quick one coming from Carl Anker. He's just put could be Casemiro centre back and Evans left back. So maybe they're kind of replicating Barnsley's formation in that kind of 3-5-2, whatever it is. So maybe Casemiro drops into that back line.
Brian messaged me as well. He's doing a watch along as well. He's just messaged me saying on MUTV they've said the same thing, that it was Evans left back, Casemiro centre back, and Collyer in the midfield.
Yeah, because Evans came on for the Sandro, didn't he? I left back in a Southampton game. So it could well be something in that. But yeah, people just going on about food now. No one gives a shit about football in the chat at the minute. Everyone's just going on about food.
No.
Give me a steak, a pint, and United win meal of champions. I'm telling you, boys, we're going 2 at the back and 8 up front. Yeah, it's TFR. We're going gung ho against Barnsley. Right, should we do some score predictions then, Sam? Because I think it's nearly time. Are you sticking with yours? Has that team lineup changed your mind at all? Talk to me.
Yeah, no, I'll stick with 2-0. I mean, I'll be happy if we score a couple of goals, 3-4. Like, I'd be happy with that. But I'll stick with 2-0. Solid professional win. I'll take that. I've just seen Lucas as well. Collyer warming up at left back. So there you go.
Yeah. So what did you go with? Sorry, then I was reading something.
2-0.
2-0. Sorry.
2-0.
Yeah. 2-0. I think we've got a battering, man. We've got a battering. We've got to be like 3-4-0 at least, innit, lads? Come on, everyone in the chat. 3-0 United. Richard saying 4-0. Tim saying tucking into my gluten veggie burger at a minute. Nice. I'm sorry, right? Gluten-free food is fucking terrible. I remember trying it once. I was like, that is all. No one can convince me otherwise.
You have to get used to it. Like, that's the thing with it. It's like when you first, you remember when you first started trying whiskey and you weren't a fan, but then you got into it when you found,
I can't remember.
Like,
it's probably that far back. But yeah, coffee I'd probably use as a more example. Like,
yeah, well, there you go. Gluten-free is very similar. Like, it takes some getting used to, but then when you feel the difference of eating gluten on your stomach to not gluten, you don't go back.
Is that why you specifically do it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my ex, Claire, she had a gluten intolerance, really bad gluten intolerance. So we switched everything to gluten-free. And so I just did it anyway. And then after we broke up and I started eating it, my stomach just was absolutely wrecked by it. Just couldn't deal with it anymore because I've not had it for years. So I've just stuck with it.
Interesting. Jarvis Cocker, I'm serious. Stay away from sugar. Focusing on eating meat, healthy fats, eggs, real butter, green salads, tomatoes, red peppers, drinking water, coffee, and tea. Yeah, I seriously need to change. That's something I definitely need to switch up. Is my diet too lazy with it? Occasionally you can have oatmeal porridge or some fruit. Supplement your diet with cod liver oil, magnesium, and mate is on it. Jarvis, let me tell you.
I've got all of those. Selenium, I've not got. Jarvis, let me know what selenium does, because that's the one I don't take. So please do let me know what that
I
is.
just want anything that's going to make me feel healthy and normal, because my body has felt like an 89-year-old for the past 3 years, for the past 5 years. I mean, say it's
half of that is to do with United, though.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's a big tolerance on it. The stress levels and watching watch-alongs where it's 7-0 and you're like, what on earth is going on here? So yeah, that's definitely contributed to it. Anthony Rashford and Ericsson with goals today. That's Craig the Unicorn's prediction. Does anyone here like a bowl of cookies with milk? My favourite dessert. That sounds like something Santa would eat. I'm not going to lie to you, Dino. A bowl of cookies with milk.
That sounds very like American family film, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like, that's what they
bowl
go.
of
I'm
cookies,
just gonna go home
a glass
and have
of
some
milk?
cookies with milk. Like,
glass of milk.
Yeah.
Best cookies.
Oh,
And there's only one right answer to this.
As in, like, brand, as in you're buying a packet?
Anything.
Or the ones...
Anything. You can order it. You can... There's people in the chat. There's one correct answer to this, and I'll only accept one.
I don't really eat them anymore, so I think I'd have to bow to your,
okay.
to your knowledge, because I don't really eat them anymore.
I'm going to tell you, Richard, hobnobs are not cookies, mate. I'm sorry to...
No, it's a biscuit. Yeah. That's a biscuit.
Rajat saying bourbon. No.
It's a biscuit.
Also, yeah, no. Kombucha for the win. Never heard of kombucha.
Tea. It's a tea made from mushrooms. Really good for your gut.
Oh,
really good for your stomach.
Yeah. Chewy chocolate chip. Wrong answer. Paul.
All cookies. That is crazy.
Maryland. Nope. You're thinking too low, man. I'm gonna tell you, the cookies from Domino's. Oh my god. The warmed up cookies, they're like grandma's, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. Crack.
They're that expensive and that sort of chew. They've got to be seriously bad for you, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt in them. But they taste, oh my God, just crazy. Crazy. The best cookies. Right, back to some predictions. 3-0 United, Eriksen, Garnacho. Everyone thinks Eriksen's going to score. Wagon wheel. Fucking wagon wheel. That's not a cookie.
Wagon wheel with jam was pretty good. I like
the blue ones. The blue ones are good. The wagon wheels. Yeah.
The red ones are shit. It's fucking pointless. The red one. Yeah. Absolute pointless.
It's a funny thing we used to say to my mate who's like, he's shaped like a hockey puck basically, and we used to say he shits wagon wheels because he's that like symmetric. No, not hobnob. Sorry, I've already read that out. Benefits of Celine. Here we go. Jarvis Cocker with some nutritional
Jarvis,
advice.
Do you want to officially sponsor Real Reds as the medical
you
advisor?
can be our medical nutritionist because you've got it here. Benefits of selenium: antioxidant protection, thyroid health, immune system support, heart health, cognitive function. I need all of them. Hair health, I'm all right with because I'm pretty, I'm all right.
Is there a supplement that just one supplement Nick could take where it's just covers everything? So you don't have to take
one in all.
One. Yeah, just one. Like you can take everything.
Anything that'll make me feel normal. That would be nice.
I'll look into selenium. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, but appreciate the advice, guys. I'm gonna go with score prediction. I've already said it. I had 3 or 4-0. I think I've already gone with. Yeah, goal scorers. Who's getting a goal tonight? Who's getting on the score sheet?
Now we'll look at the squad. Let's go Garnacho. And let's go Casemiro from a set piece.
I'm going Antony. I think Antony's definitely going to score. And you know what? A lot of people saying Eriksen, so I'll go with Eriksen. And then Maguire as well, or Evans from a set piece. Ten Hag, some quotes coming in. We have a squad more than 11 starting players. Others now get the opportunity. We're still developing the team, and we need to see what the best team is. I think Villa are absolutely running it at the minute. Yeah, that's all that's coming in at the minute. There's not many quotes.
3-0, I think, as well. I'm just watching this goal.
What did we say in our prediction? Was it 2-1 for Villa?
I think I said I think I said 2-0. Yeah, he's just scored a third. That John Duran, man, fuck me.
Yeah. Do you know United scouted him?
Unbelievable.
Do you know that?
No, I don't.
Yes, United scouted him when he was at Chicago Fire.
Get on Twitter now and just have a look at his goal. Unbelievable.
Was it a good goal?
This guy just scores only bangers. That's all he scores.
Let's have a look.
Fucking ridiculous.
Duran, latest. Yeah, I've got it here.
Ridiculous, man.
That's a good pass out wide, that as well.
He starts the move as well.
Yeah.
And he just cuts in.
Mustard. He's good, man. United, he was at Chicago Fire, and again, United scouts, I think, pushed it forward, and he was
Did he come from Colombia, I think, didn't he? They got him from Colombia. I think he's Colombian. Yeah. Yeah,
he might have done. Right, I think we can leave it at that, guys, because it is today. Like I said, I felt like shit all day, so I'm not usually do a watch along, but it's Barnsley tonight, so go off and enjoy the game. Appreciate the support during the pre-match build-up, and we're going to be live straight after it with a review, as always. Me and Sam discussing it in depth, and hopefully a lot of goals to talk about, a lot of nice combinations and play, some food for thought. So yeah, and maybe there'll be some more nutritional talk. Who knows? Come and join us later to find out.
Jarvis, I want a list when we come back for the review. I want a list of supplements I should be taking and what I need to take, and then I'll let you know which ones I've got already. So come prepared with that, Jarvis, when we come for the review. Thank you very much for joining us and watching. Enjoy the game, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see